Hi, my name is Rachel and today I'm going to take you through a couple of beginner Pilates exercises. So it's about just working at your own level and doing what you can. In Pilates, it's very important that you do the correct technique and the correct positioning rather than just making something a little bit more difficult for yourself. So Pilates helps to realign your body so that we work the same on both sides. Quite often through time with our work and our jobs and things that we do, sitting incorrectly, standing incorrectly and not holding ourselves in the correct position has a knock-on effect to our shoulders, our backs, our hips. It has a knock-on effect to your whole body. So it also helps to give you general body awareness as you go through your sort of day-to-day activities. Hello and welcome to my beginners Pilates class. I will give a couple of adaptations if you want to make something a little bit more difficult for yourself. Remember to just do what you can. If you need to rest, then that's fine, just rest and then just try again whenever you're ready. Okay, let's get started. So if you can, try and sit with your legs crossed. And you're trying to sit as upright as you can. So you want to pull your tummy muscles in and you're trying to lengthen up from the top of the head. If you need to use your hands at all, you can always use your hands on your knees or you can always place them by your side, trying to sit and lengthen as upright as you can. So at the same time you want to relax the shoulders. So in everything that we do, we're looking for this gap between your ears and your shoulders. Your chin should sit higher than your shoulders and so should your ears. It's a little bit like a triangle. So try not to pull your shoulders up and hunch through the spine. So try and sit as upright as you can. Use your hands whenever you need to. If you find it uncomfortable sitting with your legs crossed, by all means sit with them straight or bent. What we're trying to do is lengthen through the spine. So you're trying to sit as upright as you can with your shoulders back and pull your tummy muscles in. Okay, so what we're going to do from there, so use your hands if you want to, is just relax through the spine so that you're bending and curling forwards. And then again push and sit as upright as you can. It's quite nice and I quite like to use my hands on my legs to help me sit as upright as I can. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to bend through your spine by curling into a tight ball and then push and sit as upright as you can. Put your tummy muscles in, so you're trying to breathe out. Breathe in, sit as tall as you can. Breathe out. Breathe in, pull and sit as upright as you can. Just do a couple more. Breathe out. Breathe in. Remember to hold your tummy muscles in. The breath comes from the chest. Just do one more. So I'll keep changing from side to side so that you can see the different positions facing forwards and from the side. So try and sit as upright as you can. Place your opposite hand against the knee. And trying to twist and look over the shoulder. Sit as upright as you can. Your tummy muscles in. And then change. Just keep trying to pull and sit nice and tall. Look right over the shoulder. Keep going from side to side. So use your hands either behind you or your opposite hand on the knee. Just try and pull and sit and look right over the shoulder as far as you can. So you're trying to keep your chin above your shoulder and look back as far as you can, using your hands against the knee. Just do 4 more. Keep trying to sit up, tummy muscles pulled in, breathe from the chest. And again, just relax through your spine. So taking your legs and sitting with your legs as wide as you can. Try not to let your knees and feet turn in. So somebody who's not so flexible, this will happen. What you're trying to do is keep your legs turned outwards so your feet are turned up and sit as equal as you can. Take your arms and squeeze back into the shoulders and push and reach across and try and reach your opposite hand towards your foot. At the same time, what you're trying to do is keep your shoulders so that they're square and then change. So try and think about that gap between your ears and your shoulders as you push and reach across. Try not to round through your back. Now if you need to, you can use your hands. So again, keep going. So you can tuck your arm in by your side and use the hand behind you to help you push across that little bit further. Push and sit as upright as you can, sitting nice and square. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And look in the direction that you're stretching across towards. Keep going. So try and lengthen from the top of the head rather than round through the shoulders. Just take it as far as you can. So what you're trying not to do is not lean like this. Try and come across square. So use your hand behind you if you need to, or you can push it all the way up so that both arms are in a nice straight line. Just do a few more. Just try and keep the legs and the feet turned out. Okay, just a couple more. And push and sit up, pull your tummy muscles in. And then you can come down in the middle and round through the spine and just relax. Okay, well done. Bring yourself up so that you're onto your knees. I'm going to bring myself back a little bit so that you can't see me very well. Okay, I'll come further forwards. This one's not going to work. Forget that one. Bring yourself onto your side. So you can either rest your head on your arm or on your hand. But what you're trying to create is a nice long straight line. You're trying to lift from the waist, but keep your hips and shoulders stacked. Try and lengthen and lift both legs as high as you can. And try not to bend your knee as you push one leg forward and one leg back. You're trying to hold the balance as still as you can. You're trying to push the legs as far as they'll go, but keeping your body nice and still. Now if you find this a bit uncomfortable, push your lower leg as far forward as you can. Flex the foot and push the whole weight of that lower leg into the floor. You might find it lift as you take your top leg back, but then you can put the pressure in that lower leg when you bring the top leg forwards. It just takes the pressure off the hip a little bit because not everybody finds it very comfortable lying on their side. So this is your easier level, but keep the lengthening in the back. Keep breathing, so you can either swap both legs or you can just do the top leg. Breathe out, breathe in. What you're trying to do is take them as far as you can, keeping your body nice and still. So you want to be looking forwards and lengthening from the top of the head so that you're in a straight line. Breathe out, breathe in. Remember to hold your tummy muscles in and breathe from the chest. Just do 4 more. And then come back to the centre and relax it there. Well done, sit yourself up. So nice straight line with the legs, try and sit as upright as you can. So arms outstretched in front and bend and tuck your hips under so that you're just rolling down into the lower part of the back. So I'll demonstrate this one from the side in a moment. So hold your tummy muscles in, keep the gap between the chin and the throat and your ears and your shoulders. So you open your arms first and then come forwards, looking forwards, pulling back into the shoulders, bringing your palms together behind your back. You're trying to lift your arms as high as you can and then bring them all the way around and reach forward as far as you can. Okay, so we're going to do that again. I'll demonstrate from the side. So you want to bend and tuck your hips under. So it's just the lower part of the back. Pull your tummy muscles in nice and tight, legs straight. So open your arms up, pull back into the shoulders, palms flat together, length forward from the top of the head. Bring your arms all the way up and round and then reach forward as far as you can. Keep going. Keep your legs nice and straight. So remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. Arms round, reach forward. So remember, breathe out, breathe in. So trying to keep your legs in a straight line and ideally push forwards from the lower part of the back. So what you don't want to be doing is just rounding the neck and the shoulders and dropping down. Try and pull back. So use your hands, cup your hands together. Look forwards. Remember to think about that gap. Keep going. Keep that gap between your ears and your shoulders as you roll down. So the wider you open your arms before you come up, then obviously the harder it is on your core. Arms round, reach forward. Try and keep your legs in a straight line. Try not to let your feet and your knees turn out to the side. When we look forwards, don't just drop the neck. Just do a couple more. Breathe in. Okay, one more. So your technique and your posture is far more important than just how far you can go. Reaching forwards, just do one more. Well done. Pull your knees in. Try and grab hold of each of your elbows. Try and hunch through the shoulders and round through the spine and drop your head towards your knees. Okay, take your hands behind your knees and use the strength of your hands under your knees to pull and sit upright rather than sit with your spine rounded. So again, I'll demonstrate from the side and from the front. So nice straight line, arms straight, and then lengthen and stretch one leg and then the other. Mainly keeping that sitting position. So what you don't want to be doing is rounding through your back. Now if you want to, you can also do both legs together. Again, so I'll demonstrate from the side and from the front. Use the strength to sit up. So remember, don't round through your back. Breathe out, breathe in. So the further you sit up, then the more difficult it is. Pulling the knees in, trying to get the legs straight. So you can do single or double legs. You can make it a little bit more difficult by taking the hands further down the legs towards your ankles if you want to. Again, you can either do single or you can do double legs. Breathe out, breathe in. So keep that gap between your ears and your shoulders as you sit as upright as you can. Trying to pull back, always pull back into the shoulders, trying to get them back and square. See if you can do 4 more. And then lengthen and straighten the legs round through the spine as you reach forward and just drop down and relax. So now bring your legs around across to the other side. And you want to lie yourself down onto your opposite hip. And again, you want to lengthen all the way out, shoulders back. Lengthen and lift both legs as high as you can as you push one leg forward and one leg back, keeping the legs nice and straight. So you can use your supporting hand, but keep it close towards you so that your shoulder stays back. Don't let your shoulder roll forward. You can always rest your head down on your arm if you want to. And remember, you can always just do the top leg by flexing the lower leg, pushing it forwards, pushing the weight into the lower leg as you push the top leg forwards, and then lifting it up as you bring the top leg back. You don't have to lift it up, but it sort of naturally does it because the weight is off of the front or off of that lower hip as you bring that leg back anyway. So either both legs, but mainly focus on trying to lock and straighten your legs from the knees and push into the hips, keeping nice and still. Don't bring this top hand too far forward, otherwise your shoulder will roll forwards. So even in this position, we're thinking about that gap between your ears and your shoulders, your chin and your throat. Breathe out, breathe in. Try and keep your legs as high and as straight as you can and keep your body still. 4 more. And rest it there, well done. Okay, so from here, just relax through the legs and then roll yourself over so that you're lying onto your front. So when you're lying on your front, what I want you to do is imagine that your feet and your hands are touching hot water, and you want to only very, very lightly have them touching that water. So try and lengthen and stretch all the way out. So you're trying to lock your knees out, push down into both hips and just rest down onto the back of the feet. Same with your arms, trying to rest down just lightly onto the palms. Place your forehead down so that your ears and the tops of your arms are in line. All the weight wants to be pushing into both hips. The hands and the feet are just light on the floor. If you can, try and pull your knees and your elbows off of the floor. Okay, so from here, lift one leg up as high and as straight as you can without bending the knee. and without rocking from to the opposite side, without lifting the hip. The body stays as still as you can, and then the opposite leg. So you're trying to lift and lower just one leg then the other, without your body moving from side to side. Keeping the stretch, keeping your tummy muscles pulled in. Breathe out, breathe in from the chest. If you want to, you can always do both legs together. Try not to bend your knees, push and lift from the top of the legs. Push down into the hips. And pull back into the shoulders, keeping that gap between your ears and your shoulders. If you want to, you can add your upper body by bringing your opposite hand to your foot, up and down in the same line. So if you notice, I'm not lifting my neck and looking forwards. My shoulders are still square, and I'm lifting from the spine rather than from my neck or from my shoulder. It's one whole move, so that I'm working the same on both sides, and I'm bending and working from the spine. And if you want to, you can do both arms and legs together. So I'm still looking down, I'm not working my neck, I'm bending from the centre of the spine, trying to bring the hands and the feet to work together. Breathe out, breathe in, trying to keep the stretch but the shoulders down the back, so that the knees and your elbows are off the floor. And if you can, just do 4 more, either single or double, just the legs. Opposite arm to leg or same arm as legs, it's up to you. As long as you keep the balance. Try and keep your hands and feet as light on the floor as you can. Okay, well done, just relax it there. So keeping the stretch in the legs, bring your elbows in so that they're beneath your shoulders, a nice straight line. You're pushing down and forward into your hips, keeping the legs straight, and only if you can, push up onto your hands. As you push up, you still want to keep your hips in contact with the floor, so don't do this. Push forward and shoulders back. Look forward so you've still got the gap between your ears and your shoulders. Gently bring your head down, and then lift both legs up as high as you can. Bring the legs back down as you push back up. Now you can always just lift one leg if you want to. You don't have to use the legs at all. Breathe out, breathe in. But just try and keep the stretch so that there's no bend in your knees. Breathe in. Just do a couple more. Well done, push yourself back. Your knees under, you're trying to sit onto your heels and round your spine, bringing your chest to your legs, forehead towards the mat, hands either side, shoulders relaxed. Keep breathing, breathe out. Well done, bring yourself round so that you're sitting up. Again, so try and sit as upright as you can. Place your hands onto your knees. This is just a guide, but don't do this through your spine. Try and sit up. Bring your palms together and try not to do this with your shoulders and your back. Try and pull your shoulders back and then twist round, bringing your back hand on the floor, but using the back hand onto the floor to help you push and look over your shoulder. Bring this hand back and then change sides. Place the back hand on the floor. Use that back hand onto the floor to push the weight of your hand to help you twist. So at the same time, keep going. You want to keep your feet, knees and hips so that they stay in a straight line. Your front arm wants to stay where it is. Don't let it drift across. So what you're trying to do is look over your shoulder. Breathe out, breathe in. Try and keep your legs in a straight line. Try and sit as tall and as upright as you can. Keep trying to lengthen from the top of the head. Just do 4 more. So So you're trying to pull up through the spine so that you're sitting as upright as you can. And again, relax through your spine and roll yourself forwards. Okay, so now bring yourself down so that you're onto your back, and you want your feet, knees and hips in a straight line. Spine in neutral. Neutral spine is the natural curves of the spine. So one is just under your neck and the other one is just above your waistband. So that your hips and your rib cage sit level and square with that natural gap and that curve between you and the mat. Everybody is different. Some people have more of a curvature spine than others. A good indication is to try and keep your lumbar spine nice and flat, but also your rib cage square. If your rib cage starts to lift and bulge and your shoulder blades are not square on the floor, then that's an indication that you're overarching your back. So you're trying to get nice and flat, tuck the neck in, pull your shoulders back, and bring both legs up to a 90-degree angle. So ideally you want your knees in line with your hips and your feet in a straight line to your knees. I always teach with a slight raise of the lower leg so that it gives you something to look towards to stop you dropping the lower part of the leg. So if you tuck your neck in, you should be able to see the tip of your toes just above the knees. So that's an indication that you've not dropped the lower leg. Point through the toes and very gently from one leg, just lightly tap the heel to the floor, bring it back up and then change. So nothing else should be moving, everything stays exactly as it is. And the movement comes just from the hip, not from the knee. So we're not doing this. We're not tapping and dropping from the knee. The movement comes completely from the hip. Tap down and tap up. Arms by your side, tuck the neck in. So what you're trying to do is keep looking at your legs and try and get them so that they sit in a straight line. So quite often the knees turn out and the feet turn in. What we're trying to do is get them so that your feet, your knees and your hips are all level. Keep the neck tucked in and the shoulders back. So pull your tummy muscles in, breathe from the chest, breathe out as you tap down and breathe in as you come back up. So remember to always think about holding your tummy muscles in and breathing from the chest. Whether you breathe in or out at the right or the wrong time doesn't really matter as long as you're not holding your breath. But ideally what you want to try and do is breathe out as you start and breathe in as you finish the exercise. Do 4 more. Breathe in. So keeping it slow and controlled makes you work your muscles more effectively. Pull the knees in, and if you can, you're trying to just pull the knees to the chest and curl the lower part of the back. From here, hold on to just one knee and lengthen and straighten your opposite leg. If you wish, you can lift the head but pull back into the shoulders, keeping the gap between the chin and the throat and your ears and your shoulders. And try and point through the toes and not drop the heel of the leg that you're holding. And then swap the legs at the same time. Breathe out, breathe in. So you don't have to lift the head, you can keep the head on the floor. But you're trying to fully lengthen and straighten the leg that you're pushing away. If you want to rest that on the floor, that's fine. Try not to hold the knee that comes towards you on the shin or down towards your ankle. It's not necessarily wrong as an exercise, but it's mainly a stretch. It stretches into the hip flexors. We want to try and work the core, so it's a light hold of the knee. Try not to drop the heel. Breathe out, breathe in. You want to keep your body as still as you can so that you're not rocking and jarring from side to side. So remember, you can always keep or place your head down. You can adapt your levels at any time you like. Try and get your legs in a straight line. So particularly if you're lifting your head, look towards your legs. What you're trying to get is when your bent knee comes towards you, the heel should sit directly behind the back of the leg so that you can't see it. Try not to let the knee turn out and the foot turn in and let it drift across. Just do 4 more. Again, pull the knees in, rock into the lower part of the back as you breathe out, breathe in. Place your feet down onto the floor and bring your arms out to the side. You want the hands, elbows and shoulders relaxed. And turn your neck and look over your shoulder, trying to flatten your ear as far as you can, and then change sides. So you're trying to get your ear flat towards the floor and your chin sits above your shoulder. So you don't want your arms up here. Bring them down here. If you want to, then you lift your heels. Then you drop your knees halfway to one side, back to the centre, and your head in the opposite direction. So you can do this with the legs off the floor. So you can keep the feet down if you want to make it a bit easier. Or you can bring the legs up to a 90-degree angle. And as you twist from side to side, you want to keep your rib cage square, so it's just from the waist. Your hand and your shoulder and your elbows stay the same on both sides as you turn and look over the shoulder from side to side. Try not to drop your feet. So a good indication is when you come back to the centre, try and look and see if you can see the tip of your toes just above the knees. So you're just twisting from the waist. It's about halfway. If you start going further than halfway, then you start to over twist and lift the shoulder of the opposite side. So you can do a couple more. And then again, bring your knees towards you. Try and rock into the lower part of the back. Now lengthen and straighten one leg and lengthen and straighten the opposite leg up towards the ceiling. So you're trying to get both legs as straight as you can. If you want to, you can raise up and reach towards your ankle. And again, so if you are lifting the head, we're trying not to do this and just drop the chin into the throat. We're trying to actually lift and keep that gap between your chin, your chest, your ear and your shoulder. Where you place your hands doesn't really matter. And then swap the legs at the same time without your body moving or rocking from side to side. Breathe out, breathe in. So you're trying to get your straight leg, your top leg, straight rather than this. So we don't want to be doing this, we don't want the knee to be bent. If it is, just push your hands further away so that your arms are straight. Only pull your leg further in if the leg's still straight from the knee. So remember, think about using your core rather than the strength of your arms. If your neck starts to ache, then you can always just place your head down. So just keep stretching out through both legs. Breathe out, breathe in. Just do 4 more. And then bring both legs back up to a 90-degree angle. Pulling your tummy muscles in, tuck your neck in, shoulders back. Make sure that your toes are just above your knees. Pull your tummy muscles in and breathe from your ribcage. So breathe in and breathe out. So you're holding your tummy muscles in and you're breathing from the chest so that your ribcage expands as you breathe in and then collapses as you breathe out. Keep going with your arms by your side and just hover your arms up and down without your body jarring, and if you wish, you can lift the head as well. Still breathing as deep as you can from the ribcage. Breathe in and breathe out. Pull back into the shoulders. Remember, you don't have to lift the head, it's entirely up to you. You try and look towards the legs and try and get your feet, your knees and your hips so that they sit square and level. Breathe out. Breathe in. Remember, your knees want to sit over your hips. If they start coming closer towards you, then you've lost neutral spine and you've curled and flattened the lower part of the back. Keep going. See if you can do 2 more. So breathe in and breathe out. 1 more, breathe in and breathe out. Again, bring the head down, bring your knees towards you. Just rock into that lower part of the back as you pull your knees in and out. Okay, well done, sit yourself up. So try and sit with the legs crossed if you can, trying to hold on to one ankle and then the other, but just slightly separate them and lean forward as you push your elbows against the inside of your knees. Sit yourself up, cross the legs and change. Again, sit yourself up, cross the legs, push forwards. Keep going. So you're trying to open the hips, lean forwards and push against your knees with your elbows. Try and sit and work as equal as you can. So remember, try and lengthen up from your spine. Just do a couple more. So lengthen and straighten one leg out as you try and tuck your opposite foot in toward the inside of your leg. Again, sit as upright as you can. Try and sit square, trying to push this knee all the way out and flat. And if you want to, and if you can, reach across towards your straight leg with your opposite hand. Keep pushing the knee out as far as you can. You can also bring both arms across if you want to. And then change. So you're pushing the knee out to the side. Reach across, opposite hand to foot if you can. Both arms across if you can. Straighten both legs out. Nice straight line as you reach up towards the ceiling. Push and reach forward as far as you can, trying to bend through the spine, drop the head as low as you can. And again, sit tall, reach up. Reach forward as far as you can, keeping the feet, knees and hips in a straight line. Drop down and round through the spine. And again, so I'll sit sideways, reach up. Try and drop down as low as you can. So you're trying to also keep your legs straight and in a straight line. Just do a couple more. Reach up, reach forwards. Do one more. So take both legs as wide as you can. Try and reach forwards as far as you can. Again, just relax through the neck and through the shoulders. So you can turn the neck as you look in one direction and then in the other direction. Place your elbow against your inner thigh as you reach and stretch over as far as you can and look up towards the ceiling. What you're looking for is your shoulders to be stacked. So it's not about whether you can reach that foot or not. And then change. Place your elbow against your inner thigh. If you can't get your elbow against your inner thigh, just wherever you can. Anything to try and push this shoulder, top shoulder back so that you're sitting square and level. And look up towards the ceiling if you want to. Okay, legs crossed, if you can sit with the legs crossed. And lengthen and sit as upright as you can. Pull your tummy muscles in, breathe from the rib cage, breathe in. As deep as you can, filling your lungs full of air. And then slowly breathe out, keep breathing out. Keep pulling your tummy muscles in so that you're working from your diaphragm. And again, breathe in as deep as you can. Relax and lengthen through the shoulders and through the neck. And again, breathe in. And out. Just do one more. Thank you for taking part in today's introduction to Pilates. I hope you enjoyed it. So if you keep practicing and look out for future videos with more progressional exercises for you to try. If you enjoyed the video today, please give us a thumbs up and let us know how we got on in the comments below. Thank you.